Welcome to BODHI, guys. I'm Tamal. This is Casey. We are going to do a 30-minute mellow flow, just getting our bodies moving and warmed up. So let's lay on our backs. Nice floppy shavasana, legs extended out, palms face up, eyes closed, breath is deep. Just going through the normal checklist of things like becoming reflective and meditative, focused on your breath. Nothing forced. As our bones settle into the cushion of our mats, our mind should just settle in on the lungs. Let's take a big inhale through the nose. Hold your breath at the peak. Out of the mouth. Again, inhale deeply through the nose, holding at the top. And then let it go. Go back to breathing through the nose. Make your breath sound like you're fogging a mirror with your mouth shut. Find the audible ujjayi. Just blink your eyes open. Take your arms above your head, so reaching them back, and let's hook your thumbs together, make a chain link. Press your thumbs into each other, then point through your toes. It's a little plantar flexion, so you're stretching from end to end. You feel the quadriceps mildly going into a flexion and the skin of the side body getting longer. And we switch the crossing of the thumbs. Let's hug the right knee into your chest. Take a moment here. Dorsiflex the feet now so the toes point up. You should feel some shin engagement. And then as you're pressing your left thigh bone down, let the left inner thigh slightly spin towards the mat. And we're just stretching the psoas, which is wrapping around through the front of the pelvis and attaching to the little knob in your inner thigh bone called the lesser trochanter. Take your right arm out to the right, look to the right, twist the right knee across the body to the left. I like to scoot the left hip back just a little bit so that you get that extra little stretch across the low back. Casey's got a nice big smile on her face, knowing it's going to be this mellow flow. It's going to be all feel good. Let's hug the right knee back into your chest. Release it next to left. Let's hug the left knee into the chest. Take a moment here, dorsiflex the feet. Again, the right thigh bone presses down. The right inner thigh slightly rolls towards the mat. Although Casey's classes are hard in themselves, her classes are rough. You go take them and you're like, oh my God, my legs are burning off. Left arm goes out to the left. Look to the left. Twist the left knee to the right. And try to scoot that right hip back a little bit. That's the next treat for you guys. We're going to get Casey on here teaching and torturing you on YouTube, and you're going to go, oh my God. And let's hug the left knee into your chest. Let's hug both knees into your chest. Let's take a happy baby. Arms go split between the legs. Catch the outer edge of the feet or the knees. So keep your right hand either on the outer edge of that right foot or the outer knee, wherever it is. You're going to reach your left leg forward. Let it hover an inch above the ground and take your left hand to your left hip. If the hip doesn't feel good, you can always place your hand on the quadricep. Just half a happy baby. Let me breathe. We'll switch sides. Left hand catches the outer edge of the foot or knee. The right leg extends forward. The right hand's on the hip or the thigh. Ardha Ananda Balasana. Come back to the full happy baby. Now from here, you're going to bring the soles of your feet together and start to draw them towards your chest for a moment. So it's like a reclining, suspended variation of your butterfly Baddha Konasana. And hug the knees to the chest. Set the feet on the floor, heels to the butt. Plant the palms, lift the hips, bridge pose. So if you want, you can interlace your fingers underneath the back, tuck the upper arm bones underneath you, getting a little deeper into the back bend. Toes should point forward or slightly inward. Inner thighs roll down. Tailbone draws towards the knees. Let's bend the right knee into your chest. Right leg stretches to the sky. The one-legged variation. Doing a lot of one variations of these things, half versions. Right foot down, left leg's gonna bend into the chest, left leg straightens up to the sky. You should feel some hamstring and glute activation happening here. And then left foot down, hips come down, hug the knees to the chest. Let's start to rock up and down till you get enough momentum that you're seated. And then from seated, we'll bypass that and come to all fours, your hands and knees. Wrists under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, finding a table. Inhale, lift your head, chest, belly dips, tail lifts last. Exhale, tail tucks, belly goes in, upper back rounds, head tucks in. Inhale, head, chest, belly, tail. Exhale, tail, belly, upper back, head on your own. In that sequence, in that same chain of attacks with the spine. And really grounding down through the thumbs, the index, and the pinkies, and letting the forearms roll in a little bit while the upper outer arms, the triceps, wrap back. Let's come to a flat neutral back. Extend the right leg behind you, reach the left arm forward in front of you, cross diagonal balance. Letting the front ribs start to tuck in a little bit so that your core starts to stabilize and the back ribs elevate away from the kidneys. Big inhale, and exhale, set it down. Switching sides, left leg extends back, right arm reaches forward. Let the neck be long so the chin tucks in a little. This way the crown of the head leads forward and the base of your skull, the occiput, just starts to lift off the C1. Big inhale, exhale, set it down. Let's stand on the shins and knees like you would stand on your feet, setting up for camel pose, Ustrasana. Since it's early, we're gonna do the half variation, the intro version. So the hands are on the low back, top portion of the glutes. We'll have our fingers point down for today. The elbows are gonna hug in a little bit. Use your hands to scoop the tailbone under, then let the elbows hug in, and then from there, lift from the chest. And the chin will lift last. We breathe. And we'll come on up. So we're going to do a gate pose. Your right leg's going to stretch out to the right, and you'll set your right foot on the floor. Your right hand's going to go on the outer right thigh. The left arm's going to reach up and over towards the right, creating this deep lateral stretch across your left ribs, serratus muscles, intercostals. And Casey's doing a wonderful job of keeping the outer edge of the right foot sealed in so she's not buckling in medially or in towards the big toe. Let's come back on up. We'll switch sides. Right knee's on the mat, left leg stretches out to the left. You set your foot on the floor. Left hand slides down the left thigh. The right arm reaches up and we lean over towards the left, creating the deep lateral stretch. And again, just breathing into all the space between each rib. And we come back on up, set the left knee down. Let's come back to all fours, your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Let's find a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can pedal at the legs a little bit, shift your weight side to side, move the hips, whatever feels appropriate for you. Let's all settle with the legs hips width. Let's rise high on your toes. You're going to drop both heels to the right. Toes point to the left. They call it the leaning dog, and you should feel the femur bones, specifically the femoral heads, twisting around in the hip sockets. Just loosening up all that congestion in the hips. Come up high on the toes. We'll switch sides. Heels to the left, toes to the right. And we breathe. Let's come up high on the toes, set the heels down. Let's drift to plank, and as you exhale, lean out, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, maybe upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna do 2 more of those so we get a rhythm. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just do 1 more, just breath cues. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Wonderful. So let's lift the right leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip, come up high on the left toes, lunge the right foot between the hands, drop the left knee to the floor, release your left toes, scoot the left leg further back, the left hand's going to stay on the mat, the right arm's going to reach to the sky. And then we'll turn the right hand down, reach overhead, lengthen forward. And notice how Casey's right bicep is close to the cheek. That's what we want. It's very common for us to keep our arms too wide and staggered off, and then we put some strain in the shoulder. Let's tuck the left toes. Let's pick up the left knee, press the left thigh bone into the hamstring. Take the skin of the outer right hip back. Take the skin of the left side body forward. We breathe. We still want to warm the muscles and our fuel good flow so that things aren't just going to be super gentle. It is a mellow flow, so it's mildly activated. Let's inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, right hand down. Step back to a plank. Let's lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bends. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's lift the left leg up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Come up high on your right toes. Lunge the left foot between the hands. Drop the right knee. Release your right toes. Scoot the right leg back. The right hand's going to stay on the mat. The left arm reaches up. Then we turn the left hand down. Reach over our head. So the right palm is pressing the earth away, creating space between the right trapezius and ear. And we're taking the scapulas, your shoulder blades, and coasting them down the back towards your sit bones. Then we tuck the right toes, we pick up the right knee, we press the right thigh bone into the hamstring. Keep hiding the left hip. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let's reach the left arm up. Exhale, left hand down. Let's step back to a plank. Let's lower chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's rise high up on your toes. Let's bend your knees. Let's look forward. Exhale, step or spring. Inhale, glancing out. Exhale, fold in. Put a bend in your right leg. Take your right hand and hold the outer left ankle. Reach the left arm up, twist. So we want some slack in the right leg as a safety net for the low back. And we're using that right hand on the outer ankle to help turn your chest using leverage. And we work to get the left wrist over the left shoulder. Always looking for symmetry. Big inhale. And exhale, switch sides. Left hand grabs right ankle, right arm grabs the ceiling, left knee bends slightly. Notice if your torso is doing an unnecessary lateral flexion. If we do that when we're twisting, you're going to have like a little kink in the hose. So look to get long through the sides of the waist and neck. Big inhale. And exhale, hands down, legs straight. Open your legs hips width if they're not so already. Put a bend in both knees. Arms go behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Pull your arms to the sky. And then maybe straighten the legs. Notice if most of your body weight is resting in the heels. It's very common. See if you can drift a little more attention towards the toes so that the hips are lining up over the ankles. And feel this wonderful deep stretch across the muscle fibers in the hamstrings. Switch which pinky's in front if you haven't done so already. Now, as if someone were holding onto your wrist and pulling you up on an inhale, rise all the way to standing. Swoop your arms straight up to the sky, palms kiss above your head. Prayer in front of your heart. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold your body forward. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bends. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we just have one more round of those, and then we'll get off the beaten path. Let's come up high in your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or spring. Inhale, glance out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open your arms and rise to standing. Palms connect above the head. Prayer in front of your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to bring your hands slightly closer together. Let's lift the right leg up. We'll bend the knee and open up your hip. Come up high in your left toes. Lunge your right foot to the outside of the right hand. Drop the left knee. Release the left toes. And then slide that left leg further back. So you either stay on your hands, or those of you who are really mobile can go to your forearms or put your forearms on blocks. We breathe here into the hips. Now, if you're on your forearms, let's come back to your hands. Tuck your back toes, pick up the back knee, and spin the left heel down. Leave your right arm where it is, reach the left arm up. Drop the left arm behind the back. So you can either stay here and sneak your left fingers in the inner right hip and thigh crease, or you can go for the full wrap, which is taking the right arm under the hamstring, catching a hold of those left fingers and pulling them down the back, leaning our shoulder blades towards the right. You're in control of how hard or how mellow you make this. In one go, think reversed warrior, and on an inhale, go all the way up and back. And then exhale, windmill the hands down. Let's step back to a plank. Let's lower Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we bring our hands slightly closer together. We lift the left leg up. We bend the knee and open up the hip. Come up high in the right toes, and we lunge the left foot to the outside of your left hand, the pinky finger side. Drop the right knee, release the right toes, and scoot that right leg further back. And this is where you decide, are you going to stay on your hands or go to your forearms? It's completely up to you how far you take it. Let's come onto your hands if you're not there already. Tuck your back toes, pick up the back knees, spin the right heel down. Leave your left arm where it is. Right arm reaches to the sky. We drop the right arm behind the back, half bind or full bind. Usually the rule of thumb is whatever you did the first side, you do on this side. Again, we're leaning our shoulder blades to the left. Looking to energetically pull our heels inward, like we're trying to bunch up the center of our mat. So there's some adducting happening. In one go, think reversed warrior, and inhale, come all the way up and back. Then exhale, windmill the hands down to the ground. We step back, we lower Chaturanga. Inhale, back bends. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take an inhale through the nose. Let's hold your breath at the peak. Let it go. Drift to plank and lower to your belly. So extend your arms down your ribs, palms face down. Lift the right leg up and extend it further back. Set it down. Left leg lifts, extend it further back. Set it down. Let the heels move away from each other. This way the inner thighs can spin up. Now, take the sacrum and the tailbone and scoop it towards your inner thigh. So your pubic bone should press into the floor. Now inhale, lift your chest, head, arms, then legs. Loka Shalabhasana. So we're working the rectus spinae, the multifidus, all these muscles that are like the abs for your back. Bend your knees, reach back, catch your ankles. Can you drive those shin bones back without flaring the knees wide? We want the knees about blocks width apart. Casey's doing a wonderful job of dorsiflexing the feet, so there's some shin engagement. She's still spinning her inner thighs up towards the sky as her collarbones, sternum, pectoralis muscles are all widening. Big inhale. Then exhale, set it all down. Extend your legs out. Take your arms out to the sides like wings, palms face down. So what we're going to do is start to lift your left leg up, bend your left knee, and then drop your left foot to the right, stacking the left side of the body on top of the right. You may need to climb up onto your left fingers to do this. It's going to be a big stretch across your right pectoralis muscle and right collarbone. Some of you guys may fish to go deeper, which is taking your left arm towards the right arm, and maybe you can interlace your hands together. It's completely up to you. You know how far you want to go. Casey's going big. It's a really good stretch though. I like this one. It's like that good intensity. And from wherever you are, we come back to laying flat on the belly with the arms out like a starfish. We're going to switch sides. You're going to bend the right leg and take the right toes to the left, set it on the floor like you're flipping the dog, and then you either stay on your right fingertips or you can take your right arm behind you, interlace the fingers of both hands, creating a little bind. And we come back to our bellies, arms out to the sides like wings. Climb onto the fingertips of both hands. Let's inhale, lift your chest about 5-6 inches off the floor. It's like a wide arm variation of Cobra, Bhujangasana. Now keep that lift, reach your arms forward, palms face each other. Yep, now lift your legs. We're going flying. Superman. Take a big inhale. Then exhale, set it all down. Let's flip over onto your back. Once you're on your back, you can bend your knees, set your feet on the floor, heels towards your butt, plant the palms, lift the hips, bridge pose. So you can either stay here. If you want something extra deep, you can take an upward bow or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Big inhale. And exhale, come on down. Hug the knees to the chest. Place your forehead to the knees. Big inhale. Hold your breath at the top. Curl the toes. And then let it all go. Sprawl open. Shavasana. You made it. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasade Gura Bhakta Vrinda Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Together, take a big inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Let it go. With your fingers, your toes, reanimate the body. And with your eyes still shut, let's roll over to your right side. And then with your eyes still shut, let's come up to seated. We'll sit up tall, take your hands at prayer in front of your heart. Let's bow our head. Namaste.